When you spend your whole life caring for others, you don't expect much in return. At 70 years old, I had learned to find joy in small things. A cup of warm tea, the sound of waves, or a rare visit from my son Aaron. So when he called out of nowhere and said, "Mom, let's go on a family vacation," my heart fluttered. He hadn't invited me anywhere in years. I thought, maybe he missed me. Maybe he remembered those nights I stayed awake caring for him, or the mornings I worked 2 jobs just to keep us afloat. But when the trip finally began, reality was colder than the winter mornings I used to walk through. Mira, his wife, barely acknowledged me. She scrolled on her phone the entire drive and sighed every time I spoke as if my voice disturbed the air she breathed. When I asked, "How long will it take to reach?" she muttered, "Why ask if you won't understand?" Aaron pretended not to hear any of it. He only said, "Mom, relax, she's just stressed." But I could already feel this trip wasn't going to be what I imagined. Little did I know, her disrespect had only begun, and it would soon cross every limit I had ever known. We arrived at Blue Waves Grand Resort, a place that held years of my sweat, struggle, and triumph. I built it after losing my husband. Brick by brick, dream by dream, pain by pain. But I never told Aaron. I didn't want him to rely on my wealth. I wanted him to build his own identity. As soon as I stepped inside the lobby, the staff recognized me. The receptionist's eyes widened and she stood up instantly. She said, "Ma'am?" I softly placed a finger on my lips, signaling her to stay quiet. Aaron and Mira walked ahead, oblivious. The marble floor, the fragrance of vanilla and sea salt, the soft jazz. Everything felt like home. Except my own family made me feel like a stranger. But keeping my identity hidden, that was the mistake that invited what came next. At the reception, the manager gently informed us, "Ma'am, the Ocean View suite will take 10 more minutes." Before Aaron could reply, Mira exploded. "Is this a joke? Do you even know who we are?" Her voice echoed across the lobby. Guests turned. Staff stiffened. I stepped forward to calm her. "Mira, it's just 10 minutes. She whipped around, eyes full of disgust. "Not you! Old people should stand back. You're just in the way." My heart dropped. The words sliced deeper than any insult I heard in my entire life. The receptionist looked horrified. But Aaron chuckled. And what he said next broke something inside me forever. Aaron laughed as if the insult didn't carry weight, as if my emotions didn't matter. He petted Mira's hand. "She didn't mean it like that, Mom. Don't make a scene." A scene? I had been humiliated in public, my dignity trampled. Yet I was the one who must stay quiet. The little boy who used to cry if I scraped my knee was now laughing at my pain. Walking to the elevator, Mira whispered loudly enough for everyone to hear, "That's why I didn't want to bring her." And Aaron didn't object. And sadly, this was only the beginning of their cruelty. When we reached the suite, Mira tossed her sunglasses at me. "Put these somewhere safe. Don't lose them like last time." Last time? I had never even touched her things before. Before I could speak, Aaron said without looking up, "Mom, she's serious about her things. Just help her. Don't make this trip stressful." So now, I was the problem, and she was the one being serious. I placed the sunglasses gently on the dresser, even though everything inside me trembled. But soon, there would be an insult I couldn't swallow. Dinner was supposed to be relaxing, but the moment the waiter politely greeted me with, "Good evening, man," Mira snapped. "Why are you paying attention to her? Go get me lemon water." The waiter apologized awkwardly. Guest stared again. Aaron avoided eye contact. "Mom," he whispered, "just try not to upset her." Upset her? She had been insulting me since we stepped in. I stayed silent, swallowing pain like bitter medicine. But the thing they were hiding from me was already poisoning my grandchildren. I went to see the kids next morning, hoping their innocence would soothe me. But even they behaved differently. They barely hugged me. They exchanged giggles, whispered in each other's ears. Then the younger one said, "Grandma, why don't you get a job? Mom says old people shouldn't just sit for free." Free? After everything I had done for my family, I was now free labor? My heart clenched, not because of what they said, but because Mira had taught them to think this way. But soon, I would overhear the conversation that explained everything. Mira knocked on my door mid-morning. "We're going to the spa. You'll watch the kids, and don't let them get bored." I mustered courage. "Mira, can we talk about what happened yesterday?" She smirked. "There is nothing to talk about. You're here because Aaron insisted. I didn't want extra baggage." Extra baggage. That was what I had become to the woman my son worshipped. My chest tightened. I stayed silent, but only until later that afternoon, because then I heard something I was never meant to hear. Walking past their suite's balcony, I heard my name. I froze. Their voices were clear. "Mira, your mom is becoming a burden." "Aaron." "I know, but she has nowhere to go. She doesn't have money." "No money?" "I owned 7 resorts, 4 restaurants, 2 boutiques, and a lifetime of savings." But Aaron continued, "If I don't take her, who will? She's basically broke." My breath shook, but the next sentence shattered something deeper. Mira sighed dramatically. "Once she gets weaker, we'll move her to that senior home my cousin told us about. Let professionals handle her. I can't deal with old people problems." Aaron didn't argue. He simply said, "We'll do it soon, maybe after this trip." The world around me blurred. My own child discussing my future without me, like I was an object, a piece of furniture, a responsibility to get rid of. But they had no idea. The woman they called weak was stronger than both of them combined. That evening, I stood alone on the beach. Waves washed over my feet, whispering stories of resilience. The sky glowed orange, reminding me of every sunset I survived alone. And I made a decision. I would not cry. Not this time. I had cried enough for people who didn't deserve my tears. If they thought I was invisible, I would stay invisible until revealing myself became impossible to ignore. And that moment arrived sooner than even I expected. At dinner that night, Mira threw her napkin dramatically. "This food is terrible. Why didn't you choose a better place?" Aaron sighed, frustrated. "Mom, at least book somewhere decent next time." Book? I had booked this place for thousands of people over the years. I own it. They were insulting me inside my own empire. That was the moment something clicked in me. Enough. I was done being their punching bag. So I walked out and prepared the truth they never expected. I walked to the lobby with calm steps. The staff straightened immediately. "Elena," I said softly. The general manager rushed over. "Ma'am, how can I help?" "Bring the files," I said, "and follow me." Her eyes widened. She understood exactly what I was about to do. She collected the documents and walked behind me to the restaurant. Every staff member stopped what they were doing. This moment had been waiting for years. And then the storm hit my family. Elena stood beside me at the dining table. The room fell silent. She cleared her throat. "Ladies and gentlemen, I want to acknowledge someone very special." Mira rolled her eyes. Erin looked annoyed. Elena continued loudly. "Please welcome the owner of Blue Waves Grand Resorts, Ms. Lillian Hart." The entire restaurant gasped. Chairs squeaked, forks rocked. Mira's face drained of all color. Erin's jaw hung open. I simply folded my hands. But the real shock was still waiting. I looked at Erin calmly. "All your bills, paid by me. Your home loan, paid by me. Your business funds, paid by me. Every financial help came from the useless old woman." Mira clutched the table. You can't just turn on us like this." I looked directly into her eyes. "You turned first." Then I stood. "From today onwards, you are on your own. I am done supporting people who don't respect me." Erin whispered, tears forming. "Mom, please?" I shook my head. "No more." And the next morning, everything changed. I checked into the presidential suite alone. For the first time in years, I felt peace. Not loneliness, just peace. The next day, Erin and Mira packed quietly. She kept her head down. He looked broken, but neither of them dared to say anything. They checked out without a word. I sat on the balcony of my suite and watched the waves dance. A weight had lifted. The weight of unappreciated motherhood. People think parents owe children everything. But respect? Love? That must be mutual. But weeks later, something happened I didn't expect. 3 weeks passed. One afternoon, there was a knock at my door. I opened it, and Erin stood there, alone. Eyes red, hands trembling. "Mom," he whispered, voice cracking, "I'm sorry. I lost myself. I let her change me. I forgot who you are and who I am." He broke down completely. I didn't hug him immediately. I didn't forgive instantly. But I didn't shut the door either. Healing takes time, and respect must grow from roots, not demands. I looked at him and said, "I don't need perfection from you. I just need honesty and kindness." He nodded, crying harder. And for the first time in years, I finally felt seen. "Now, tell me, if you were in my place, what would you have done?"